What's up, everybody? Sophia Parola here for Garden State Film Festival, and I am here with the returning filmmaker, Vic. She has already made the film Empty, that was also accepted this year, and another short film accepted, this film, Quarantine. If you see the spelling, you'll understand a little pun there. It's very, very cool. Congratulations, Vic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here again.
So can you introduce yourself and this short film for everybody?
Sure. So I'm Vic Pater. I'm at Emerson College right now, and I made Empty. If you would have seen that before, it's an animation. I think it's really cool. And Quarantine is a short film about being a teenager home in quarantine and how it's probably affect your eating habits. So
yes, and very, very relatable. The quarantine 15 is no lie, and I laughed when I heard you say that. I would love to know, like, when during the quarantine did you film this? How did you come up with this beautiful soliloquy that you wrote and voiced over this film? I would love just to know about the process of thinking about this film and making it.
Sure. So it started when I was in my AP literature class. Our teacher wanted us to remake Hamlet's soliloquy of "To be or not to be." And
Oh,
so, yeah, and I remade it. And she said, I would love you guys to take a video of you just saying it and presenting it to the class. And so I took it about 10 steps further and I made this little short film. And it took me about a day or two because I wrote the soliloquy one day and then I realized this is due tomorrow, but let's do it all now. And it was just a lot of fun making. And my family just saw me running around the house, just like putting props up and like starting a recording and like doing weird things in front of the camera. So it was a nice little distraction for a bit.
That is so cool. And that's such a cool class assignment to like remake that soliloquy. And I think you did like a great job. Did everyone have to make it based off of quarantine, or you had freedom to do whatever you wanted?
You had a bit of freedom, but she said make it about something that's relevant right now. And so most people did Quarantine, of course. That was a really fun class. Yeah, she had great, projects for us to do.
That sounds awesome. And a true artist taking it 10 steps further and making it into an awesome short film that we can all enjoy to watch. And yeah, I don't know if you already said this, so forgive me if you did, but when was this during the pandemic? Was this like prime time? We can't leave the house. When during quarantine was this?
This was when we had just been like sent home from school. And it was right after we had realized that this wasn't going to be just a 2-week thing where we're just home. It's going to be, until Christmas. And then, of course, we now realize it's going to be till next Christmas. So it was just that moment where I was thinking everything is going to be on Zoom from now on. Everything's going to be FaceTime and no one's going to see like below my collarbone. So I mean, it's just, it's such a life-changing thing, and let's make it funny because it kind of is.
It really is. And especially, I mean, most of the things in life, you have to laugh in order to cry. You need pain with the comedy. And I really enjoyed it. I think everyone watching it will like relate or chuckle in some way. And I'd love to know, just you said it took about like a day to make it. Did you know the shots you were going to do? Was it all just winging it, improv? And you're obviously the star of the film. So I just love to know, as how were you filming it during the process?
Sure. So I would set up the tripod and then I'd have the camera, and I did make a little storyboard. I don't usually do that. I have begun doing that because it is, kind of important. But one of the things that I was most excited about putting in is stop motion animation where, stuff comes out of the cupboard. And that's kind of where it started. That's the first thing that I filmed. And then I was like, oh, let's make a storyboard. And so I did that. And I think that it ended up working really well. And it was very quick. And so there weren't many continuity mistakes, if that makes sense. Except for the fact that I had to get up off of the floor, go check the camera to see if I was still in frame, and then go and get back onto the floor. But other than that, I think it was really fun to make, and it looks pretty good for just, me being there. And, yeah, so.
Yeah, I agree. And I do love that when you're on the floor, that little position you're in. I appreciated that. Looked hard to get into. Cool. Yeah. The fact that you went in there, checked the camera, and then went back into it. I give you props on that.
Thank you.
So you also have a film, Empty, that was accepted, and now you have this film. I mean, number one, how does it feel to have 2 of your films accepted? And also, like, what do you think one film is, they're both relatable in their own way, but one is a little more funnier while the other one is, a more serious subject. So I just love to know the difference of making both films, and how does it feel to have 2 of your work accepted into this festival?
Well, it feels spectacular to have 2 things in this festival, because this is in my mind, this is a really prestigious festival to be in. And so I'm really excited to be here and like being interviewed in 2 of my things. I think that that's beyond amazing. And the difference between them, I think, is animation and live action. I think that I was happy to employ both of those. And you're right, one of them is more funny than the other one. But I think that Quarantine is just as serious because, but I wanted, both of them are very serious and hopefully relatable. And I wanted to look at these serious topics in different ways. So Empty is very serious about mental health. And Quarantine, although it's funny, it's relatable, and it's like, yeah, we're on quarantine, this sucks. It's also like quarantine is really messing with a lot of teenagers' minds and how they look in their bodies. And people are like, oh, well, there's the quarantine 15 you could gain or lose right now. And it's just, I mean, there's so much pressure for teenage girls and boys nowadays. And I kind of wanted to, I know I was feeling that at the moment, and I just wanted to let it go. And I wanted somebody else to hear about it. And I wanted to just like relax and be like, nobody's going to care. And I do have friends. That is a little joke I have at the end where nobody will care because I don't have any friends. But yeah, I just wanted to make it more funny and something that can be talked about more,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, I love that we got to talk before and we're talking now, because I just think that it's good to look at someone like you who, they might be similar in age, someone looking at your stuff, or even not similar in age, but we're all going through similar things, and you're creating art out of, some tough topics and some things that people might be going through. So I would love to know just how you're staying afloat, how you're keeping up with your creativity. What is that motivation that gets you to, I'm going to make a film. Yes, this is hard, but let me make something out of it. I would love just to hear your thoughts about creativity during this time.
Sure. I think one of the really big contributors to keeping up that creative spark that a lot of artists need to be able to create things is things like this, where somebody's like talking about your work and you can show it. And I was able to show it to family and they really loved it. And now it's in a film festival and people really like it. So it's just a lot of things, being able to have somebody see it. And also for me to be able to see something that was in my head and was just jumbling around in there. And now it's on screen and other people can understand it and relate to it, which is really cool because it just makes me feel less alone,
Of course. I totally agree. And it's really inspiring that, like, you made Empty with animation and people's support and help, but it was you. And now you're making this film where you're the lead and you also were the voiceover and wrote it. It's awesome what you can do, just one person. I think it's like really, really inspiring. And you're probably patting yourself on the back, but I would pat you too if I was there, because it's really awesome to see and to talk to you. And you mentioned before, like, last question, we talked a little bit about our other interview, but I love to ask you again. As you said, Garden State's like a prestigious festival and it's well known, and I love it. I just would love to know why you love it, why you're happy to have your films premiering there, and how'd you hear about it? Just all about Garden State.
Yeah, of course. So Garden State, it looks spectacular on a resume. That's always a plus because a lot of people know about it. And it's also something that my film teacher pointed me in that direction too. I totally talked about him in my last interview. He's just always been pushing me to go to these film festivals and to submit. And he does a lot of the submitting and he puts a lot of work into that. And so Garden State is something that he's always been like, oh, if you get into Garden State, you have a real chance at this job because Garden State is spectacular. They have such great taste in films and they give, great, experiences like this. And things like that. And also Tom, my stepdad, he also helped me with this one. And he's been pushing me to go to film festivals like this, where I wouldn't think that I'd be able to get into a film festival like this. But you guys have really supported me and in ways that I don't think you really know. And, it's such a great place to be. And it's a great experience to have.
That's so wonderful to hear. That's like, I love hearing people's points of view, especially you. Just it's so great to hear what you say about creativity in Garden State. And thank you so much. I mean, we love our filmmakers and we love these people who just don't let anything stop their creativity. And you're definitely a person that's connected to that. So thank you so much for submitting your films, for keep making films, keep in touch with Garden State. And just congratulations again. I think it's so awesome. I love this film.
Thank you guys so much. This has been great.
Thank you. So let us tell everybody when this will be premiering. It will be premiering at the Asbury Hotel in Asbury Hall, Saturday the 27th, in the block of 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm not exactly sure, but I think Empty might be premiering in the same block.
It's similar.
If
It
I'm
is.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
that'd be awesome. So you can catch both of your films if you come to this. And I really hope it gets a great turnout and people can just watch your films and relate to it and witness your creativity because it's phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vic. It's been wonderful talking to you again. Best of luck. Keep in touch with Garden State. Submit your stuff, and your success is our success. We appreciate you and everything that you make. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here. But have a great day and thanks for having me.